Another thing when it comes to getting with women that you gotta understand, fellas, is when I say that you kind of supposed to be a dude who don't give a fuck. That means stop being in your head so much. Stop being in your mind so much, your brain so much. Because dudes who don't give a fuck have fun with women. When you talking to a woman, you want to have fun. You want to genuinely be attracted to them and enjoy the interaction. Don't be like a dickhead who don't enjoy what you're doing. You ain't gotta be clowning like a clown. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you're talking to a woman, enjoy it. Have fun. You like her. She pretty. She got nice soft skin. She beautiful as hell. She got a nice little body, nice little frame on her. She probably smell good as shit. Have fun. Don't be in like a serious ass mood. You don't want to be in a super goofy mood, but you don't want to be in a super serious mood either. You kind of want to just be chill and relax, but still have fun. Because a lot of dudes, and I'm gonna say it like this, is a lot of dudes were actually better at getting women in high school than they are with getting women now. Because in high school, you didn't give a fuck. In high school, you wasn't looking up how to get women. You wasn't doing none of that shit. You literally were just doing shit just based off of instinct, and it was working. You weren't too lovey-dovey. You weren't too extra. You weren't super needy. You weren't super romantic. But you might do some shit like you might take a little shorty to get her some ice cream or something. Like when I was young, it was just you did simple shit because you didn't really have no money. When you 16, 17, you ain't got no bread. But you might have got an allowance from your mom. You might have got like $5 or something. So, you take her ass to the Target, y'all just walk around for like 2, 3 hours after school. You know what I'm saying? You buy her a little thing of popcorn or buy her a fucking dollar Snapple or a dollar Arizona or some shit. And then y'all just kind of just walk around and vibe and talk. That doesn't technically change when you get out of high school. Like women don't change at all if we keep it at 100. It's your belief system that changes, just like it's their belief system that changes. But the reality is, you still the same as you was. Your women are still the same as they was back then, and men are still the same as they was back then. Ain't nothing really changed except for now you gotta pay bills and shit. But other than that, just being able to vibe with a woman, it's still the same thing, bro. It's still the same hustle. You know what I'm saying? You dress nice. You be a fun dude to actually kick it with. And 9 times out of 10, women are gonna enjoy it. And I will say that sometimes it's just better to go off of your instinct. You don't want to be writing shit down, having like a text sheet or like a cheat sheet. You don't want to do nothing like that because that shit is gonna mentally be in the way. It's gonna mentally block you because you're gonna be thinking too hard and you're gonna think that you're gonna, you're gonna end up making a mistake and being like, oh shit, I made a mistake, and then you're gonna start having anxiety and all this extra shit. When talking to a woman is not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be anxious talking to a woman at all. Period. Point blank. You anxious to talk to somebody that's 5'2" that only weigh 104 pounds? Some of them only be about 97 pounds. You cannot be scared to talk to a woman. Ain't nothing scary about that shit, bro. You can't be a big 200-pound dude, 230 pounds, 250 pounds, and be scared to talk to a woman. That's some crazy ass shit. Like, real talk. That's something that's kind of like unacceptable because getting a woman is like the first part of life. Like, understanding a woman, not understanding a woman, let me rephrase it. Going out and getting a woman and understanding how it works to get a woman is like the first phase of life. That's why we do it when we're teenagers. We do it when we're like 16, 17. We go and talk to chicks. We get, we flirt with them, stuff like that. You know, and there is a thing called instant attraction, where it's like a woman already finds you attractive because you're acting like a man. So it makes her naturally act like a woman. This is some shit I used to notice when I was younger. Is there was just natural attraction. You act like a man, she act like a woman. Y'all looking into each other's eyes and shit. It's weird because it's like in a way you're kind of being romantic, but you're not being overly romantic, like doing the most. You just chilling. But she liked that though. She liked the chilling, relaxed vibe. like I said, it's about having fun. You gotta have fun with chicks too. You don't want to be too overly serious, like I said before, because they're gonna look at it like, damn, why this nigga so serious? Like it's not that deep. That's how they're gonna look at it. But if you too goofy, they're gonna be like, oh, he's still technically serious. That's the crazy thing. If you act overly goofy, or if you act overly like serious, like your attitude is serious, both of those can be examples of being too serious and taking the moment too serious. Because if you so goofy to where you acting like a clown, she gonna be like, okay, he doing the most. And some women cringe off of that shit, especially when they around their friends and shit. Women will cringe and be like, damn, this nigga don't know how to just relax. But there ain't nothing wrong with being a little goofy. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, like 15%, 20%. You know what I'm saying? But in a way, she needs to think you the shit. She needs to be like, man, I fuck with this dude. He handsome. I enjoy being around him. His vibe hella good. Because most of it is about how you coming off, your frequency, your vibe, and your body language. Because she gonna be looking at you like, okay, is he doing too much or is he kind of chill? But I like the chillness of him. Because you can be chill and still be fun and goofy and have a good time. Like I said, y'all want to go back to when you was in high school. You want to be kind of goofy and having a good time and be fun, but you ain't doing too much. You listen to what she has to say, stuff like that. A lot of dudes think that listening to a woman's like stories and stuff is a bad thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like you could let her be open. A couple of things I'll teach y'all is y'all want to be a good storyteller, right? You want to be a comedian, but not too funny to where you clowning around like an idiot. But you want to be kind of a comedian, be naturally funny, be a good storyteller. I'm talking about be like Dave Chappelle type of storyteller. You feel me? Listen to what she has to say. Naturally relax. And give her hugs and shit. Like, don't be scared to give a chick a hug. And that don't mean like on some weird shit. Like, some niggas be